Hey, what's up, Niner fans? Just wanted to jump on really quick and talk about the 2023 NFL draft a little bit with you guys. I definitely love the draft. It's one of what's for me. It's one of the best times of the year, and I definitely enjoy the whole process. So um, I know that the Niners don't have a first round pick in this year's draft, but you never know. We make moves like crazy sometimes. So it's always good to look at who's out there and those kind of things. And even if not, I like to always look to see who fits into our scheme and those kind of things. But definitely just wanted to cover the top 10 prospects off of the CBS Sports website and at least give you an idea of who they are and um, what I think about them, and also I like to point out some of my favorite players from this top 10 list. Of course, as the season goes on, I want to be able to do more shows where I'm talking about like positions or groupings or stuff like that to give you guys a better idea of like the skills of each player and those kind of things and how they fit into teams and how especially how the Niners would view them and those kind of things. But let's go ahead and get right into it. I think the top 10 prospects off of the 2023 NFL draft list off of CBS Sportsline, right? This list was created in July 2022 this year. So I know we've gone into a couple of games already. So some of these players are doing well. Some players haven't been doing as well as others, but they are still really good prospects. And first off, there we have Will Anderson, edge from Alabama. 6'4", 243, right? Then we got Miles Murphy, another edge. So it looks like it's going to be a draft similar to last year. We're going to have like the best edge players probably go first. But of course, you always have the quarterback needy team. So there's a couple of quarterbacks there as well. You see CJ Stroud from Ohio State, Bryce Young from Alabama, Will Levis from Kentucky, right? And then you got Jalen Carter there, defensive lineman from Georgia, Trenton Simpson from Clemson, linebacker. You got Keely Ringo, Antonio Johnson, and Keyshawn Butte to finish off that list. Like I said, I think the top 10 prospects on this list are all pretty good. It just depends on what you're looking for, but I had a chance to just begin to look at them a little bit, and I want to share with you some of my favorite players off of this list. So, first off, I mean, Willie Anderson, right? Willie Anderson, by far, to me, probably um, is definitely the best edge in this class so far. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to do a deep dive yet, but just off this list, he's I might even put him up there at number one on this list, just like how CBS Sportsline has it. I think he's a beast. He's a beast. Definitely is. He's very good at dissecting the plays. When you watch him play, he can move along with the line, pick his hole, and then just burst right through that line to get the sack or the tackle or whatever it is. I think he's really good at playing against the pass and the rush. Definitely has a lot of power and a lot of burst. So he's got a quick first step. He's quick around the edges and he's quick through the hole. So whoever gets him, I think they're going to get a really, really great player. One last stuff for me on when I was watching him, he's too good against one-on-one. You can't one-on-one try to block him like that. And some of the film that I saw, I mean, he was playing against guys who got drafted this past year in the NFL draft, like first round picks, second round picks, and he's just bursting through them. And even double team, he still gets through. But I think overall, very, very good player. The next the next person that I want to talk about here on my list, let me go ahead and take him off there. CJ Stroud. I think out of out of all the quarterbacks on this list, I think he's got a really strong arm. He's got a really quick release. He's got very good accuracy. You see him threading in the ball in there sometimes. You see him throwing it right over the cornerbacks, right? So I think all of that, he's really good. And when you talk about a passer, he's just a really, really good passer of the ball. One thing I would have wanted to see more is more pocket passing. A lot of his plays were out of shotgun, so he was rolling out or he was like deep in the pocket. You didn't really get to see him play inside the pocket to see how his movement is. So that's something I would have wanted to see more out of him. But he's definitely good at throwing on the run. Like I said, he's very accurate. So even on the run as he throws it, I mean, he's hitting his receivers really good, and he can throw into tight windows. So I think that shows his arm strength. So I definitely think he's got a really strong arm. just comparing him to previous quarterbacks from Ohio State, I think that he is a notch below Justin Fields. But I do think that he is very accurate and can be a very good quarterback in the pros. Like I said, I would like to see him in the pocket more just to see how he moves around. But Ohio State doesn't really run that from what I saw. So, but still, overall, really good quarterback. Okay, let me take him off. My next prospect that I want to talk about is Will Levis. This guy, I didn't really know much about him before, but he is one of the quarterbacks coming out this year, one of the top quarterbacks coming out this year. And I think this dude is really, really good. I did get a chance to see some of his tape where he played in the pocket, and he could definitely move around in the pocket. I think he senses pressure well, and he has escapability out of the pocket. What I mean by that is he'll step up in the pocket or nothing's open. He can run and get you those 5-10 yards, get that first down for you. So I really like that. He's got really good mechanics. His throwing mechanics are very good. So I think he's going to be one of the more polished quarterbacks, probably ready to go when he comes into the NFL. Really strong arm. Like I said, all these guys I'm talking about, we don't know injury. We don't know how the season's going to go, but just based on last season, based on their rankings and stuff, I'm just going off of that. But definitely, I see a strong arm. I see really good accuracy. He can pick up yards with his feet if he needs to, and he just looks very good overall. I think he just looks the part of an NFL quarterback. So, definitely right now, I would have to say between him and CJ Stroud, man, they each have something special to offer. I like both of them. Right now, those are probably my top two quarterbacks coming out in the 2023 draft. So I'm excited to see what these guys do in the pros, right? Next player here that I want to talk about here is Jalen Carter. 6'3", 300 pounds out of Georgia. He plays a lot on the he plays on the inside a lot, but he definitely has moves. So if you're looking for a defensive tackle that can stop the run, that can get to the quarterback, I hate throwing comparisons because it's so early, but kind of reminds me of DeForest Buckner a little bit. So looks like a beast. Great quickness for his size. When you see him and you see him burst through those holes, and then you look at his measurements, you're like, wow, for that size, this guy can really move. Super athletic guy. Definitely got a lot of power. Sorry, guys. Definitely has a lot of power and a great first step as well. So he can rush from the inside, he can rush from the outside, and most importantly, he can stop the run too. So you have an all-around player here that's really good. I think just from what I've seen so far, I have a feeling this guy might be one of my top prospects coming out of 2023 draft. Of course, barring any injuries or anything like that, I expect him to have a great season as well. So next player on my list here, Kelee Ringo. I saw this guy as a freshman, and he looks special right off the bat. And he's ranked as one of the top 10 prospects coming out. 6'2", 210. I really still like what I see. He pops on film. He looks much bigger than his size. He's got great coverage ability. He's always looking for the ball. So the good thing about him is that if quarterbacks and receivers are throwing like back shoulder passes or back shoulder fades or anything like that, he's looking for the ball. So you don't have to worry about those PIs and stuff like that as much because he's going to turn around, knock that ball down. There was a few where he just turned around and got the interception. And, I've been excited to see this guy in the NFL for a few years. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. Man, I wish the Niners were drafting early. Would love to get this guy. But, he can play man-to-man. He can play zone. He's got great tackling ability. He also has great blitzing ability. There was a play in there where I saw where he just came through the corners. He just came off the edge so fast. He's got so much burst in there that if you're a quarterback and he's coming in on a blitz, you better have your protection set, or you better have your eyes turn around quickly. And he seems to always be in great position. Especially in coverage, right in the right spot to where he can make the play. So I think this is a really, really talented player, right? Another player that I really liked was Keishawn Butte, the receiver out of LSU. He's 6 foot 205. I know, I was watching like one of his game from this year so far. I mean, like I said, the season just started, and he didn't look very good against Florida State, but just looking at what he's done in the past, looking at previous seasons and stuff like that, I think he's really good. He's great at separating from DBs. He knows how to use the field to get big plays. And what I mean by that is that after he catches the ball, he knows how to make the moves. He knows how to make the adjustments. He knows where to run so they can run away from defenders and stuff like that. So it feels like a big play waiting to happen all the time. He's not the tallest wide receiver, but he plays bigger. He looks big on film. That's something I always look for. Definitely got breakaway speed. There was a lot of plays where he just catches the pass and he's just breaking away for 20, 30-yard gains. So I feel like he's got great hands. Although I know he's had some drops this season, but from what I've seen before is that he's got great hands. He can snap that ball out of the air, and that's what I like to see. He's got great route running. What I mean by that is the angles that he takes. He often leaves that's how he gets so open, is running great routes where the defender's going one way, but he's already making his cut the other way to be so wide open for the catch. He's great at high pointing the ball. I saw a lot of 50-50 balls where he just out jumps his defender, and he just gets that ball out of the air for a score. He's also really good at positioning, body control. There are plays where he's double teamed, and you see him running. He's double teamed the ball. Somehow it just finds his way to his hand because of his positioning. So he could be running an in route, but he can be running an out route, but make it look like an in route. So the defenders are in the wrong spot. He's in the right spot, the only spot where he can be the only player to make the catch. So that's pretty good stuff. Guy runs a lot of slants. He's really good at running slants. He'll catch those slants. He'll take it down the field. He's a catch and run guy. He's also a 50-50 guy. I think he's great at both. I think I haven't had a chance to look at all the receivers. There is another receiver that I really like that's not on this list, but I'm gonna have to look at those more to see who I would rate higher. But I think that with Butte, you got a really good receiver on your hands. Okay. I also wanted to talk about fits, right? Our team, San Francisco 49ers. I know that we don't have a top 10 pick or anything like that, but out of these players, who do I see as a great fit for the 49ers? Of course, I would love to have a lot of these receivers, but I think a great fit for our system is Butte. The reason why I think he is a great fit is because I definitely see him as a Kyle Shanahan type of wide receiver. A lot of the receivers that we've drafted in the past, when you look at Debo, when you look at Ayuk, when you look at Gray, when you look at those guys, what were they great at? Catching and running, slants. Gray definitely got downfield speed, but a lot of his tape that I watched last year prior to the draft, he also can take those cuts and take them all the way down the field, and that's what I see in Butte. He can run out of the backfield, whether it's handoffs or anything like that. You can give him the ball in the backfield and he'll take it out and he'll be able to run. Runs great slants. He's great at 50-50 balls. So if you're just lobbing it up into the end zone for him, he's only 6 feet, but he definitely can do that for you. Great body control for positioning on long routes. Like I said, he can run the long route. Defenders will be in the wrong spot because of the way he's running the route. He'll run it inwards, but then the ball can come to the outside, and he can just make that adjustment and go get it. And it'll just fall right into his hands because his defenders are out of place. He's got catch and run away speed. And what I mean is he can catch and he can run away from defenders. They might be right with him, but if he makes that catch and turns it upfield, he looks like it looks like he's just turning on another gear that the defenders don't have. And the other thing is he's got great hands, like I said, snatching the ball out of the air, 50-50 balls. Kyle loves those guys that can get extra yards, and that's why I think that he's a great fit for the 49ers because of what he brings to the table in that sense. So, I hope that I hope that I was able to give you guys a little bit of insight into who some of the top prospects are and what they bring into the table. Um, any comments or questions or anything you guys want me to talk about, just put it down below in the comments. Um, like and subscribe to the channel, and if you like the content I share with you, tell people about it. Thank you.